You are a fashion entrepreneur and investor in vegan necktie company.
Yes.
What is a vegan necktie?
So it's a necktie that does not use silk, and that's what makes it vegan. So no, you cannot eat the tie, but if you're someone who's that does not wear silk for either health or personal reasons, then it's a necktie for you.
You basically sell neckties made of polyamide or other synthetic fabric.
Yes.
And you market it very nicely for pet lovers and people who care about animal welfare. I heard PETA, the famous organization for the protection of animals, PETA and its famous logo, you use them on your products. How did you succeed to make this partnership with PETA?
It was actually very interesting. The idea came about with Hermes, Hermes, the very luxury, the high-end luxury brand out of France. It's a brand that said, I think about 20 years ago, that they were making over $2 million just off their ties that had animal prints on them. If you look at Hermes ties have little animals on them. And they were talking in this New York Times article about how much money they're making off their animal print ties. I have a tie company. Hey, ties, animals, let's talk to PETA. So PETA, the thing is that J&J already had an award from PETA, so the relationship was already established. Presented the idea to them and said, hey, Hermes is making all this money off ties with animals. You guys deal with animals, we make ties. You like our ties. Let's make a line together. And it was easy after that. And once they told their millions of supporters, it changed the game for J&J.
So basically, you give them a part of your profit.
Yeah, 35% of all proceeds goes to PETA.
Okay, and they use it for their
of course,
action.
Animal welfare, yes, for their action items.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan.
Okay, but
would love to be, and because of all of my reading, I have to admit I do not eat a lot because of the different documentaries I've watched on Netflix. I stay away from a lot of seafood and meat. So I don't eat that much.
But do you think this vegan product niche is a profitable niche for businesses?
It depends, because veganism is growing in America, but I don't know how it is growing in other countries. And the reason why I say that is because America is one of the top countries in the world, so people have the income to be much more prudent and much more investigative on their purchases. But when you live in a country where you're just trying to meet the demands of everyday life, you may not have the luxury of being, able to go and buy fair trade, organic, free-range products, vegan, which takes a lot more education and time. And if you don't have the time, then, hey, I'm just going to go down the street and buy a hamburger.
Mm-hmm. Mohammed, you met the former President Obama once?
Yes.
Okay, so what about his outfit? What do you think about? Is he fashionable?
He was dressed very presidential.
Okay.
He was dressed very presidential.
But what about the current President Donald Trump?
He's always been dressed in a suit and tie, so nothing changed for him.
You have this experience in fashion.
Yes.
How do you see the outfit of the common people here in Romania?
It's actually in trend. Everything that I've seen here in Romania and what the guys and girls are wearing, the millennials are wearing, it's in trend with what you see on Instagram. I'm always studying, I'm hip to fashion, I love fashion, I'm in fashion, and I'm very, observant of fashion and what they're wearing here in terms of jeans, in terms of length, in terms of size, fit, shirts, long shirts, baggy shirts, tight shirts, women, men, what they're wearing. It's on trend with what I see on social media.
It is different from the people in the U.S.?
No, not the shoes are the same. A lot of people wearing different kind of athleisure shoes. So that's what's in right now, and the retro's making a step back, and I saw a couple of girls wearing retro clothing.
So, Mohammed, I'm going to share some Romanian fashion products exhibited in New York at the New York Fashion Week recently. And please tell me, what do you think about that? I'm going to share right here on my laptop.
Sure.
So,
what do I think of it? The children couture is interesting. I know that the children industry and clothing for children is a very, very big business. In terms of these designs here, they're that's very, something you can wear in Romania. Coming from California, you couldn't wear a jacket like that. But no, I like them. I like these. I like the drape. I like the drape on that pink one and the brown one. So I can imagine that these are startup companies. Exhibitions and display, they cost a lot of money. And you got to do what you can, but with fashion, it's all about who's wearing it. Okay. So you get the right people to wear it. If you get, the right kids, if you have Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughters wearing your dresses, Petite Coco, then you've got it made, man. You start putting your Petite Coco clothing. So, it's presentation. It's pretty standard,
So maybe is this a piece of advice for Romanian entrepreneurs to attract big names, stars, to wear their clothes?
That's hard, man. The thing about fashion is that it's not like any other industry, because it's all psychographic. It's all about, why do people spend $175 for a pair of shoes when they can just spend $25 for a pair of shoes? It's because of the brand. It's because of the look. It's because of what people make you feel like when you're wearing it. So when you have Petite Coco and these other brands that you're showing me, getting it on popular people and famous people is difficult, because famous people are always given free clothes.
For example, if I was an entrepreneur, startup entrepreneur, and I would come to you to ask for investment, what should I be careful at?
If you're asking me for money, number one, I want to see the actual product or service working right now in work. Number two, I want to see how your business is actually doing at this moment in time. If it's an idea, just save your time. Unless you're someone who is an experienced entrepreneur who has several companies that you've exited from, then when it comes to that, I've invested in someone who's already sold a company. It was an idea, I invested, and we made more money. He sold another company. So it depends on that. But you want to have a working product and service. And number three, for me, importance is like the growth of the market, how the market will evolve. And do you understand your market well, and how the future of the market, because if there's no market, there is no product, there is no service.
So which one is more important, the idea or the execution?
Execution. Everyone has an idea. Go outside, all kinds of people have all kinds of ideas. Doing it correctly and then having to adapt, fix, adapt, fix, adapt, fix. Not many can do that because it can be tiring. You don't have to be experienced. If you're experienced, okay, if you're kicking butt in your field, that works a lot for me because I know that you understand your field well. If you're experienced, which you don't have to be, but you have to know, the number one's most important. You need to know your industry. You need to know what you're dealing with, and you need to understand your market. If you have a good grasp of the information, a lot of information, that works for you. Do you have to be experienced? If you are, it definitely works for you. If you're not, it's all right, because we all have to start somewhere.